Due to poor password security practices, attackers are often able to compromise accounts. So, how do attackers break passwords? And what simple precautions can users perform to strengthen the security of their accounts? 123456, password, and ABC123 are some of the most commonly used passwords. These passwords might be easy to remember, but they are easily exploited by attackers. Such simple passwords can be easily broken in seconds by an attacker using a dictionary of commonly used passwords. You might think that simply adding a character to a simple password, such as Mustang3, is secure. However, attackers can generate a list of every possible password combination, which would break such a short password easily. The best defense against password attacks is to use long passwords with letters, numbers, and special characters. A 5-character password would take a few minutes to break, but a 12-character password could take years. The general rule is, the longer and more complex a password, the longer it takes to break. A simple method to create a secure, memorable password is to combine a personally memorable sentence with some personally memorable tricks to modify that sentence into a password. So if your sentence is the following: "When I was 11, I fought the neighborhood bully," your password could be this. Another example is the sentence, "If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door." Then your password could be. Password reuse is a term that describes when a user uses the same password for more than one account. For example, the password for an email account is the same used for a social networking site. This might seem convenient, but this practice leaves you vulnerable. If an attacker is able to determine your password for one account, then they would have unlimited access to all of your other accounts. It is essential that each account used has its own separate password. Insecure storage of passwords is another major cause of account breaches that is easily preventable. An obvious example is writing your password on a Post-it note or datapad. Less obvious examples include keeping passwords in word processing documents or in emails. An attacker can easily gain access to these files. In fact, fellow employees are often responsible for data breaches. The general rule is to never expose your password. Maintaining a strong set of passwords might seem like a lot of work, but password management software is a great solution to take the pain out of password management. These programs securely generate and store your passwords. Examples of these programs include LastPass and 1Password. Your password is of high value to an attacker. Attackers will often attempt to fool you into entering your password onto another system controlled by them, for example, a phishing website. Another common technique used by attackers is to install malware on your system, which silently waits for you to visit a specific website, such as your banking or company website. When you log into this site, the malware intercepts the password and sends it to the attacker. It is important to change your password frequently because once your password is compromised, you will be vulnerable. An expired password cannot be exploited except if you use a similar pattern in your password, and an attacker might be able to guess your new password. For example, if your old password was mypassword2017, an attacker might correctly guess mypassword2018 as your new password. If possible, use two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication adds an extra step to your login process. Typically, when you log on to a service, you enter your username and password, and then you're done. With two-factor authentication, an extra step is added, such as an SMS code, authentication app, or physical security token. Two-factor authentication makes it much more difficult for attackers to break into your account, as they require more than just your username and password.